Ladies and gentlemen, this is episode 171 of the Masters in Creation podcast, where everybody is a master of their own creation. I'll be honest with you, I may ate some bogus hibachi before I came here, so I'm not feeling 110%, but we are here every week, like always. Today, again, I am your host, and I bring with and I bring with me the one, the only, the host, the media director of Masters in Creation Media, Tobi King.
Yo. Just had our first live interruption. Wait, come back.
There are staff here cleaning up, and they just walked in, and so it's just hilarious how deep she got in here before she realized that something was going on.
Hilarious, man.
But welcome back. I believe, is this your third time being a guest?
I believe so.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, it's the third checking dog. I know. I mean, bro, 171. You know what niggas is up to, man. Like, I mean, that's even crazy. Like,
Yeah.
171 is nuts, so.
And ideally, the goal is to be able to have these, intermittently, just to give everybody just glimpses of just how everything has been evolving for us. Ever since you've been here for 4 years now.
Crazy, man.
Which is absolutely insane. It
crazy.
Still does not feel like 4 years. It feels like eternity and a month all at one time.
Tell me about it, dog. Tell me about it.
Truly. But you just recently achieved something that was something I'm extremely proud that you were able to accomplish and get through. It's definitely something that you're going to be able to hold on to your belt for the rest of your life. And you are now the graduate of the third ever Artist Talk cohort.
Absolutely, man.
First off, again, congratulations.
Bro, thank you, man. Bro, again, it obviously goes without saying, but I'm gonna say it. I'm not even in that cohort. I don't, go through that cohort. You even asked me the one time, and I was like, I don't know, and like, thankfully, you circled back and was like, bro, like, you just think about it, and I took the leap. So again, thank you for even putting me onto that. Thank you for, just believing in me, trusting me to, go through that, and bro, that shit was so dope. Like that shit was incredible, son. Like.
What was just starting it feeling like, and then how did you feel like you grew as the cohorts were going along?
Starting it was dope. I think I came in from like a pretty unique position because I'm not sure what everyone else is like. Frame is not like the right word, but I'm not sure like what perspective everyone else was coming from as far as like, did they know people in the cohort prior? Have they bumped in? But like, I'm assuming so. Just like thinking about how Pittsburgh's creative community is like so weaved. You know what I mean? So like, I'm sure people have crossed paths like at some point, but like a good amount of the people that were in my cohort. We definitely had, obviously Dr. Timbo on, Burr was on the pod. We had, Gabrielle just even prior to me even being in the cohort, and through you being in the cohort as well. So I kind of had some relationships, like already, which was nice, but
And Sydney herself too.
Sydney, yes, obviously, of course, Sydney. And it was dope. Like I didn't really. I'm not gonna say like I didn't know what to expect, but I was just like kind of keeping an open mind, just like kind of absorb any knowledge I can. It was just dope to even just be in a room full of creatives, just of all walks of life. Like, it was just so many different lanes, and it was just cool to see what people got into, how they got into it. But I would say I've evolved by the end. I'd say because honestly, just like believing in myself a little bit more. But like by the end, like I'm like, listen, bro, like setbacks, mistakes, they're just a part of life, and like I kind of beat myself up about that a lot. But by the end, just like even and obviously like through the podcast, but just specifically through the cohort, just everyone was at such different places and stages, but it didn't necessarily matter because we could all use the same tools to, advance. You know what I mean? So like that was just really, really dope to like at the end really just kind of assure myself in that. I was like, look, you're at your point. It's cool. Just use the tools that like, you have, that you've gained at this point to move forward. And I would say like that's probably like the biggest way I've evolved by then. And also it's just creativity is dope and like it allows you to create career lanes for yourself and do unorthodox things to generate revenue for yourself, but like there's always like a level of professionalism attached to it, or like there should be. And artists sometimes don't connect those dots all the time, and it's cool, but like you should probably have someone in the mixture that is their thing. So like not even just for myself, because I mean like obviously again like you spearheaded this entire thing, so like that's the anchor for me, but like not everyone's gonna have that. You know what I mean? So it's like that's also like something that like I learned, like you have to just be professional. You know what I mean? Just like it don't matter if you're a rapper, like you paint, like people just got to trust your professionalism and like trust like you're gonna show up, when and where, a project or someone you're collabing with is telling you to show up to. So I'd say like that's also like another factor. Like I, by the end of it, just realized how important that was too.
Was there a session that, or a piece of a session that really stood out to you that you remember?
Hmm. That's a good question. Rapkin Gardens was dope. Like that was I think I believe our last session.
Your retreat?
Yeah, the retreat. That was
Break down
super
what that
dope.
was.
Yeah, no. So like we all went to this bar called Rapkin Gardens, and we pretty much just it's such a beautiful setting. It has like a koi pond and like very like Japanese inspired layout and garden vibe. So we had a yoga session there. We meditated. DS Kins Anquinique led us in like a breathing exercise as well. Quest the Conduit did his sound bowl meditation vibe. So that was all a part of it. We I mean like and shout out to Chef Bud. I mean the food was, always, phenomenal. So, he
Careful with your lips on the mic.
oh my fault. Yeah, he like brought the good eats. So, like that was always dope. But it was just really the by that point in the cohort, just like our relationship within the cohort was just kind of at its peak where everyone just like, just the comfortability around everyone, and a super vulnerable session. Like people were, crying at some points, like positive tears, you know what I mean? But it just kind of got to that point, So I would probably say that's the most vivid one that like kind of sticks out of my mind.
What led to that? The positive crying. Like what was it about that invoked that kind of emotion?
So it was just a really intense exercise where we had to just look into someone's eyes and just, not break eye contact, for like it was pretty sure it was like over 5 minutes, and just kind of Dr. Timbo was just kind of like repeating these affirmations, and the person I was, because like I don't want to like put anyone's like vulnerable moment out there. I mean, if they don't want to share, but like the person who I was like partnered up with, um, just like one of the mantras, just like about like forgiving yourself. Like that's kind of like what the vibe of it was, and she just felt comfortable enough to just start crying, and I just was again not breaking eye contact, so that was intense. So it was just, yeah, right. Yeah, I know. Dog, that's how I felt though. Like, yeah, that's what's, like that's like for real what it, yeah, you know what I mean?
Sorry guys, I make jokes.
Yeah.
So.
But no, I mean, but but like it was just real. Cause like when you're eye contact is like such like a transfer of energy and vibes, and like people say the eyes are the windows to the soul. That is as cliche as it sounds, it's really no joke. So it was just a super condensed intense moment, and like that was probably like, because like when I walked away from it I was like, oh shit, like That was intense, man. Like just not breaking eye contact for 5+ minutes with someone, is crazy. So that was probably like the most, again, just vivid experience I can recall.
Isn't it wild that that can be correctly described as intense?
Yeah, I know.
That just looking at another human
Facts.
being is
Crazy, bro.
intense.
Bro, like, again, the eyes, man. It was just that eye contact. Yeah, I mean, bro, it's just like a transfer of energy and vibes, and it connects you with that person.
Yeah. And for anybody who has in the past considered artist talk mental health or
Mhm.
doesn't really know much about the cohort, why do you think somebody should join?
Absolutely, man. I can't even begin to just articulate the tools that aren't necessarily readily available. Like all the good information is not like they don't make that accessible to you. Like you have to go and do the work to find that. And shout out to Sydney because she's just flipping the script on that. Like she's making all that information completely accessible and like telling you where to go to get it, who to talk to you know achieve what you want to achieve specifically for what you want to do. So she has just done such a good job at curating stuff specifically for each cohort. Like she's not just like copy and pasting, these workshops amongst the cohorts. Like each one is so finely curated, and it also contains information that I'm not even sure where else you would get that information. So like that is, if anyone is even on the fence about it or thinking about why should I do this, you should 100% do it. The connections, the information. I mean, like the vibes. Like it's like mad cool people in there. Like I've met people like I'm a probably just keep forming a relationship with, like past the cohort. So like I like, again, when you even initially asked me, I just didn't think I would be able to hang in these spaces. Not that like I felt, and after going through it, like not that you need to feel like you need to hang, but I just felt like you know I don't know. Like I just didn't feel as if I had earned my stripes to, like, do something like that. So I'm super thankful I, again, just said yes and took the leap.
Do you now feel like you were wrong for thinking like that?
Yeah, like, and it's just like that's a thing with me too, man. Like I'm a just
And why? Why was that wrong for you to think like that?
it was wrong just because of like looking back and seeing just how much we've accomplished as far as like the podcast goes. It's like not many people make it to this point. You know, podcast aside, like just sticking with someone for 4 years and looking at four more in the future. It's like not many people have that. So like I think there's something to be said about that. Um, at this point, but I don't know, man. It's just something I just kind of gotta fix my mental computer on, man. But now I'm definitely, again, just like super grateful, and again don't feel like as if you need to necessarily hang or like prove your medal. Like people are at different points in their careers in this cohort. Some people are just beginning, some people have been doing what they're doing for years, and really like it's a space to that accepts everybody. Like again, if you're just starting out, if you're a veteran at your craft, there's something you can learn from the cohort. So
And then I was lucky enough to attend your graduation,
yeah.
which was a little different from. So each year she kind of did it up a little bit differently, and kind of on this third time, kind of combined the two ideas from the first 2 years. My year was more of a ceremony of sense,
Yeah,
and
right.
more of like
A banquet
war
vibe. Yeah,
banquet
right. Yeah.
kind of vibe.
Mm-hmm.
The second one was only the retreat, and then for yours, it was both the retreat and then a, how would you describe yours? A showcase.
Yeah,
Say
like
a
an
showcase.
exhibition. Yeah, yeah.
A
You know,
showcase exhibition
bro. And again, shout
of
out
all
to
of your
Sydney,
art,
dog.
and break down how it was set up, where it was
100%.
located, and everything.
And bro, again, shout out to Sydney, man. Like it's because when she was even like just formulating the plan for graduation, I was like, yo, like this sounds dope. And just like knowing our core, I'm just like, yo, like if we pull this off, it's gonna be shout out to us, like But the way it was set up, so it was 3 levels, and a couple people from the cohort had stations on each level, and then the theme was like
Physical levels of a building.
yeah, no, yeah, facts, like physical levels of the building, and then you would literally the like the theme was like we're gonna elevate to the top was like the theme, because like it ended on the roof. So it was the flow was so natural. Like it didn't feel jumbled or forced. Like people weren't even really saying like, "Yo, excuse me, I got to get to." It was just like a natural flow all the way to the top, and it was dope, man. Like Bird was like doing her thing on like the first level. We moved up to the second level. I think it was like me, Asa, Ada, Maya.
You skipped one on the first level.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, Ayana. Ayana and Bird was doing the thing on the first level. Second level, yeah, like it was me, Asa, Crystal, Ada, Maya was on the second level too. Am I missing someone on the second level? I don't.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, Gabrielle was also on the second level too, and then we moved up to the third level, and then Benji closed us out.
Mm-hmm.
And he had a super dope performance. Like he was mixing in audio from like Sydney and like different people from the cohort and like this beat, like live beat making session, which was super dope. And again, Quest did his thing with the sound bowl meditation. So it was just such a well ran and bro, the food, man, it was like a chicken and waffle spread, delicious. Definitely hit that table hard, but it was such
too.
dog facts was going crazy. But it was just such a well ran event, man. The energy was incredible, bro. Like family, friends showing up for people. Some people would just come off the strength of like they just wanted to to see some art and just like just see what the vibe of artist talk was. And I think that was a great event to just encapsulate what artist talk is, what it means, and just what it can do for you if you decide to apply to the cohort. So again, shout out to Sydney, an incredibly well ran graduation event. And it was just a dope day, man. It was a fire day.
I think everybody did an extremely good job.
I agree, man.
For me, just one that stood out was whenever we did the invisible writing.
Bro. Yeah, shout out to Maya, bro. That was fire.
It's pretty cool concept.
Yeah, that was super.
And
dope.
then the poem that she had with it as well. A lot of people, I think, regardless of what their medium was, kind of came with poems for that.
Yeah,
which I thought was really cool. People being able to share their art
100%
that way. Was there any of them that stood out to you? Again, not to say that everyone did their thing, but was there one that...
I look, you forgot one more person, bro. Incomplete was on the second level too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like she's her poems, but stuck. I mean, no, bro. You look, you kind of took the words right out of my mouth. Maya's like experience was again super dope. Like the invisible ink, and then you would write the response to what you think someone wrote in the invisible ink. So like that whole exercise was super dope, super interactive. I loved that. Like stuff that can engage the audience on that level is always super dope. So shout out to Maya, man. I think she did an incredible job with that concept.
Man, this son of a bitch over here almost made me cry during his. What made you come up with the idea for yours, and how did you feel about the execution of it?
Well, it was the the prompt was just to find something in our medium and just see how the and connected to like the mental health that we were feeling in that moment. But my whole thing really was to just kind of let people know like the reason why I'm here, bro. Like I'm probably like 2% of the reason why I'm here right now, bro. Like I like the main purpose of that for me was just kind of like to get a little bit of a sense of who I am for anyone who was wondering, but to just let people know that, bro, it's this guy right here, bro. Like I don't know what it is, if people don't want to necessarily give you your flowers or whatever, like give you, like the respect you deserve in a lot of facets. But like I've let people know, like, yo, whatever you think I'm doing, or like whatever you think I am, kind of got going for myself, is not because of, it's like I'm a very small part of it, bro. It's because you had such a vision and a belief and just a trust and care, and I mean just like a bevy of just traits to even get me here, bro. Like, so I just wanted people to know that, like, I was just being real, like, and the clip was the clip. I was, happy to talk about that, but that was really my main, I guess, goal of the presentation, just to let people know what the fuck is really good, for lack of a better, term. So yeah.
Well, let me ask you a deep question.
Yeah.
What % do you feel like you have to play into your future?
That's crazy. I mean, naturally, right? Like it's 100%, right? Because you gotta be the pilot of your own life. But that's a great question, man, bro. I really don't know, man. I really don't know. Like as far as my future, I'ma just keep being consistent at this as much as I can, and just being able to help out and add value, like where I can. To answer the question, I would say it's up to me, as all things in life, But yeah, I mean, it's just like I don't just forward motion is really all that is that I can really say about that. It's just to keep mashing.
And if you didn't have the podcast, what would you be doing?
That's a great question, man. Should probably just find just working some fucking job for real. I mean, that's really it, and maybe I would, I can't even really say like maybe like bro, just fucking working a fucking 9 to 5, man, chilling, try to stack up money. That's really it, bro. Like I don't really know what else I would have done if I really moved to Pittsburgh, and that's even a scary thought too, just because like at what point like would I have fulfilled like have felt excuse me felt is crazy felt unfulfilled, like
That was a tongue twister.
yeah, right, but that I don't like to think about because like what if it was 10 years 15 years and like what I mean, I'm fucking 40 and it's just like fuck, so I don't really know, man. Like again, I have a lot of interests, as so maybe hopefully I would have stumbled into someone else who fucked with that, or maybe took it upon myself to been like, hey, I like this stuff. Where are they doing this stuff at? But I mean, bro, if it was a fifth, like we'd all be drunk. You know what I mean? So I really have no clue.
Well, what about today? What if, God forbid, something happened to the podcast? All the equipment blew up. Me and Shorty, we head down to Cambodia.
Yeah, right. Elope.
Decided to start.
Word up.
Life in Cambodia.
Man, I don't know. I mean, like I have to find housing. That's would have to be my first move. Oh no, man! Like I would probably just kind of dig 10 toes into like my 9 to 5 right now, and just kind of, see how far I can go with that. Like, yeah, bro. Listen, like life goes on, right? If that was the case, like I'm sure, life would figure itself out, in my standpoint. But to say that I would know what I want to do if this ended tomorrow, like, I really have no clue. And I think this is such a space and a unique space because like I can really just be my full self, and like I'm not sure where else I would really be able to do that to, or like do that for real. Like, and like when I say like myself, like I mean like bro, like I'm not pretend like this is me in full, like you know what I mean, like it's not even a fraction of it that's like, oh, like no, this is me and every day, like it's off the mic, on the mic, this is just what it is. So I don't know, like I also feel like not that I don't fit, but it's just like I just feel like this is, I don't really want to be anywhere else. You know what I mean? It's just like I don't really have the want to try to do anything else outside of this. Like what we got going on is like so just unique to us, where it's like I don't think it could be replicated any other place. So it's like I don't even know what it would turn into if you know what I mean. Like this shit went up tomorrow, but yeah, man, yeah.
Do you feel like you do not want, or do you think that you are, for lack of better terms, incapable of putting 100% effort into this, 100% effort into work, and then 100% effort into something else simultaneously?
Because realistically, I mean, it's a lot. It's definitely a lot. But yeah, it's incapable. Isn't the like? Because I feel like if it came to it, like gun to my head, I guess I could do it. You know what I mean? But it's like there's just something. There's just like an X factor, bro. Like again, like it's just like our relationship is just larger than this, and like again, this is your vision. That again, like you came to me and somehow like felt I could fit in this thing you got going on. So it's just so unique. And it's like, yeah, bro, like, could I? Sure, I guess, but it's like, would the motivation be like, you know what I mean? Like, just like the what motivates me to do it would be different if it's there at all, you know? So like, I think that would just kind of be the biggest factor, just like knowing this, like what we got here. And it's like, this is all I really ever wanted. So like anything that deviates from that, it's just, I don't think my heart would really be in it like that, you know?
What does motivate you to do things?
Damn. That's a great question. What motivates me to do things? Hmm. I'm gonna be real. I don't know. I don't like it's. This is to be part of something bigger than yourself. I realized is something I like. I feel like I need. You know, like it's fun. Like you feel so many emotions when you're a part of something like that. But for me, it's like working at something that's just bigger than me. Like I can play a part in it, sure, if you're trying to give credit out, but I think that's what it is. Just like working towards something where like I just know and like I just fully believe in it, you know? And I think that is probably like my main motivation. Definitely when it comes to this. Like it's just what you're building is super dope. The community you're building is super dope, and like I'm just seeing it grow in real time, and just like even seeing that motivates me to be like, oh yo, like just, let's just like whatever we are doing, keep doing that. Like let's just keep doing that, keep doing that, keep doing that, and I feel like everyone should just again put energy into something that's again bigger than themselves. Like it just teaches you so much about yourself. Um, there's so much humility that goes into that. You know, I think like a lot of people just like kind of want credit on certain shit. I'm like someone where it's just like I guess credit in like certain arenas is cool, but like I don't give a fuck if if I did something or not. Like you know what I mean? Like it just is what it is. Like if I can help out, I'll help out. If I if I can add value in certain places, cool. But yeah, man, just like working up for something bigger than yourself, I'd say would would motivate me for the most part.
How does one balance being able to feed somebody else's vision
Mm-hmm.
while also feeding their own?
Hmm. Well, you got to be clear with like what your vision is. Like
What is your vision?
my vision is to hopefully be the best podcast host I can be. Um, again, bro, just add value and support where I can. Like if I just want to be a positive addition, in just whatever facet I can. Like if it's helping set up, like I can do that. If it's, if I gotta, be on camera talent for like, whatever little thing I gotta do, then like that's cool. If I gotta help, just like, um, make a connection for someone, like that's cool. Like I think you just have to be super clear and just super just within yourself. Like I do think it just takes a lot. You have to ward off your ego. Like you can't even let that be in the picture. You know what I mean? Because like if you're again just like even like in like a sports team, like even if you're like the nicest person on like the basketball team, like if it comes down to it, yeah, like you got to score 35 points. You know what I mean? But there's four other dudes on your team that are working towards the same goal. You know what I mean? So like you have to incorporate like no matter how good you feel you are, like it's gonna take four of these other dudes to get ultimately to a championship. It's going to take a good coach to ultimately get to a championship. So it's like whatever your vision is, and like if you're working with someone else's vision, like just be realistic. And if you think that you have to compromise your vision, I think you should maybe really sit down and like try to figure out what your vision is. Like what are you willing to do for your vision, and like if they don't align, then like just kind of be open about that. Like it doesn't have to be like a yo, fuck this, like, fuck you think, just be like, yo, this is what I want to do. Like, I think you're doing this. If I'm wrong, correct me, and here's where I'm trying to go, and like, here's, where you're trying to go. And if it fits, bro, beautiful. If it doesn't, then it's like, word, like, it doesn't have to be like no love lost or nothing like that, but it just is what it is. Like, we're literally just going two different directions. Like, that's just, like, it is what it is. Like, maybe we'll intersect again, like, depending on what we get into, but it's because, again, like, I'm not sure how many people are in the situation of having to balance someone else's vision with their own, but I'm not saying like you have to forego your vision for anyone else's, like, just like, forego your dreams for anyone else's, but just, meet yourself where you're at as far as what you want to do, and then, just kind of self audit from there.
I know in the clip that you used for your graduation,
Mm-hmm.
it was from one of our prior episodes discussing you comparing yourself
Mm-hmm.
to others.
Yeah.
Do you feel like you still do that?
Just innately, bro. Like I'm trying to like catch myself on it.
I guess it's a question of who and why.
Who is it? Like, cause, bro, not to even like that is just it's such a good question. Like, and in those moments, that's what I ask myself. It's like, yo, who am I comparing myself to? You know, and I can never, like, one day I'll be able to answer that. And like, maybe it'll just kind of unlock something new for me.
Do you feel like there's more that you can be doing for yourself?
Hmm. I mean, I'm sure there is. Let me not even. Yeah, I'm sure there is. You know, what may take me a little bit longer to really answer.
How often do you feel like you push yourself to your limit?
Hmm. Not as often as I should, probably, if I'm being honest.
Do you know what your limit is?
Like, in terms of what? Like what you
Do you
say?
know what your limit is? Do you know what your current
No.
limit is?
No, not really.
I think that's something that you should explore for yourself.
Yeah. Like just means just like as far as like workload or like.
Everything.
Hmm.
Everything in your life. What is my limit to this right now?
Mm-hmm.
Not to say that it can't scale, that your
Yeah, yeah.
tolerance can't scale. It's just what is my absolute limit right now? Who can I not beat?
Hmm.
Even if the opponent is yourself, who can I not beat?
Hmm. Yeah. No, I mean, I completely agree, and I've definitely mentally framed it like it's definitely me versus me, like 90% of the time. Like that is, I mean, shout out to Rocky, you know what I mean? Like, it's just it's the man in the mirror that's gonna be your greatest opponent. So that is definitely like a mentality I've crossed over to, where it's like 90% of the time, like, 99% of the time, fuck that. Like, it's yourself that, like, you have to beat. The other 1%, is what it is, but it's just how much control do you have over, yeah, just yourself. And as far as my limits, man, I don't think I've really gotten close to it, but like, I just don't know what it's like in what facet, like, well, let me say this, because like I was, doing, I was editing those, those videos, and like I do see some on TikTok where it's like, damn, bro, like, that I don't think I like. You got that, like, I have no idea how to pull that off, So that's something I would say, just like on top of my head,
What do you mean?
like, just like the style and like which they're editing, like, like the videos. I think like I'm very formulaic in that sense, where it's just like, this is what I know how to do, so I'm gonna just do that. As far as just like, like the yeah, just like, how you edit the videos, and then like I'll, go on TikTok and see this whole. It's just crazy because like I'm not sure if they're just using CapCut or if they're, using something like Final Pro to do that, and like if they are, then like what in Final Pro or, or Final Cut are you using? Like, I started, thinking like that, and like I'm just like, yo, like, it's probably a whole bunch of YouTube videos I got to sit down and watch, or just like, a whole bunch of Googles I gotta, fucking do. So,
What stops you from doing it?
man, it's a great question. I mean, that 9 to 5 life, and then, we definitely try to pack in as much pause as, we can, but honestly, man, nothing crazy stopped me from doing that, for real. Like, nothing crazy,
Mm-hmm.
to be real, So, yeah.
Okay. Yours?
Yeah.
171 episodes.
Yeah, I know. It's fucking insane, right? This is crazy.
171 episodes.
Yeah, right.
What do you remember most about those first 10, 15, 20, 25?
Dog, man. Just fucking figuring it out. Just even thinking we had certain shit figured out was hilarious, but I mean, bro, to be real, like when we started having guests on, just even looking back and just people being cool enough to pop up to my apartment to record a pod is crazy, bro. Like, again, they don't know me from no fucking can of paint, bro. Like, I'm moving to an entirely new city. And they're just like, yeah, yeah. Like, they were just down to do the pod, And fucking, bro, fucking Jeff Fieldhouse fucking episode, man. Hopefully we can get my man back on the pod, bro. But that was fucking a moment where I was just like, oh my God, bro. Like, what the fuck, man? Like that was a rough one, but
My biggest fear is that there was so much scarcity in the market,
yeah.
but that's why people said yes.
Yeah,
coming on
yeah,
the
right.
podcast.
Yeah, right. I
I
know.
created this because there was scarcity in the market.
Facts, real shit.
And I think people said yes because there was scarcity in the market.
Yeah, right.
As you said, there really was no reason for anybody
Yeah, right.
to be showing up to talk to us.
Yeah, right.
I do think, what else do you think was a factor in the reason why people showed up?
That's
because there were no bullshit people. We
Yeah,
had doctors early on. We had top DJs early on.
Bro, let's not. I mean, bro, I think your career spoke for itself. Like,
People don't give a fuck about my career.
I mean, bro,
they still don't.
I mean, and
No,
even if they didn't, bro, like they have to respect, like, oh, like who is this dude? Like, they do their own research because, like, for them to even say yes, like, I'm sure they were doing their own research. That's like, what it was. I didn't have nothing on my page.
They weren't
like, yo,
bro. They weren't.
They weren't.
No,
you don't feel like they were. Like,
absolutely
I don't
not.
know, because it's just like, but yeah, no, but nah, bro. Like, I think, yeah, bro. Like, I ain't have no fucking credentials to. You know what I mean? Like, like they weren't going off any merit that I that I had. So I think they were just like, this is an accomplished artist that created a podcast. And like I think that like a lot of them just like, yeah, fuck it. Let's fucking I mean, like, why not?
It's not me. I'm telling you, it's not me. You know what I think was a part of it?
What's up?
It was that because I think it's a teachable moment even for other people.
Yeah.
They saw that we were already on episode like 25 to 30 before we even asked people on.
Interesting. Yeah. Right.
We would ask people
point.
for episode 1.
Yeah, right.
2.
Right.
They probably thought I was the guest.
Yeah.
They probably thought you really just loved me being a guest.
Right.
You just had me on for 20 episodes. They're like, wow, he really likes this light skin.
Right.
Don't know why. And I'm sure as fuck not watching an episode to figure out.
Right.
But they already got to 30.
Yeah.
Surely they have to be doing something.
I mean, no, but that's an excellent point. Cause like I didn't really think about that because it can, and that's a fact. Like before we even started having guests on, we were like what 30 in,
around there.
Yeah, I mean, bro, so that like
I could even do the look as you're just talking.
Yeah, no facts, but and I think because even I'm not sure if you were talking to Hurt. It was I think it was last episode, but like, you gotta meet God halfway, right? Like, so it's like I think because people saw that again, we were already putting in that work prior to like, even inviting people on. People were like, okay, if they're willing to just pod off the muscle, like I would like it would be dope to like sit down with these dudes. So like I think you're actually 100% correct in that. Where it's like I think because we already had those episodes already going, people were like, oh shit, like they don't even need me to, fucking be on this shit. Like from the looks of it, So like let me go chop it up. But yeah, no, I would agree with you 100%.
I think so. Technically, our first guest was episode 5 with Che.
Crazy,
yeah.
That
is
Che. 100%. It might have, yeah.
In friendship, actually, I'm incorrect. First one was episode 3 with Nathan.
Wow, bro. Yes. Yeah, bro. Shout out to Nate, man. Yes. Big shout out to Nate.
Shout out to Nathan.
Yeah.
And I know he doesn't watch these episodes, so I can say this, and then I also need to say it again to his face.
Yeah, right.
It's probably gonna be an emotional moment for me.
Yeah,
because Nathan, out of everybody, has truly showed up. I think every single show I've ever had in Pittsburgh, ever had. That man is a brother to me in a way that I can never convey to anybody else.
Mm-hmm.
And like, bro, and since you've been here, obviously you wouldn't miss a single anything.
Of course.
But for him, since day one, no matter what crazy fucking thing I said or what idea I had, and even to sit there with me for an entire year while I'm sitting over his shoulder just trying to figure out this entire music shit, man, God bless that man.
Yeah.
God bless him.
Yeah.
Because it's not the easiest thing to just listen to my crazy ass say something and show up, time and time again and truly believe in me.
Absolutely.
And truly believe in me. And I don't think he fully answered the question, and we may have talked about on the pod where it's just at what point in us making music was he like, Mike's actually pretty talented.
Yeah, right.
And I think his answer was kind of like, I was always in my head was like, am I talented?
Yeah.
So I didn't think I was talented. I wasn't even worried about you being talented.
Right.
Because I didn't think I was talented.
Huh.
Can't believe you were even believing in me.
Right.
And I'm looking at him like, nigga, you're the one that got to carry this for right now. You're the God right now.
Yeah, you're
like,
the God right now, bro.
Yeah,
like,
right now,
you
need to set that straight.
Mr. Pick up and play an instrument, like, for real.
Right, right. So, and then I had to take both of these episodes down. 23 was our first, like, guest that was not one of our friends.
Yeah, right.
And then 25, also had to take that one down. And then we picked back, don't ask questions.
Yeah. What?
What?
What do you mean?
Don't ask questions.
Take what down?
Take what?
Anyways.
Down.
Yeah. Anyways.
Continue. Back with Che again on 26.
Word.
And then from that moment on,
And niggas
we essentially had guests. In the last episode, that was just me and you kind of just talking, and it was us setting up what the future was going to be like, was episode 32.
That's crazy.
And then from that moment on, it was
lit,
just
nigga.
tons of guests who we never had a relationship
Hell yeah.
with before that, and even just scrolling through everything. And I gotta figure out what his name is, because I watch him on TikTok a decent amount. He's people by me just describing him might know who I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Maybe his name's Andy. No, I might be mixing somebody else up. But he is a dude with like longer hair, and he's married to a woman who, just for descriptor purposes, she got a nose job, and she looks better now that she got it.
Yeah.
But beautiful woman.
Yeah.
And they are married, and they started a business together.
Okay.
And initially, it was just solely purchasing gyms, building them up, selling the gym. Or going to somebody else's gym who already has a gym and fixing the structure within their gym. And now they acquire all different types of companies, build them up for the purpose of sale.
Oh, wow.
And I love both of their mindsets and both of their preachings. Obviously, I don't ever take 100% of anybody's mindset.
Yeah, right.
Not to say that mine is the perfect mindset,
right.
But I
just take the bones.
think it's best to take a little piece of everybody.
No, I completely agree.
And don't take everything that I say.
I agree, yeah.
Pieces from what I say.
100%.
But part of what he said from this clip that I saw recently was essentially confidence comes solely from just doing the thing.
Right.
Being able to say that you just do the thing.
100%.
You just did the thing.
Correct.
So I do think that was part of it too.
Yeah.
Where these people have seen, again, we're already at episode 32, have had like 5 guests prior, and we're asking them for episode 33, 34, 35, 36, 37.
Yeah.
And from that point on, I mean, we haven't had an issue getting a guest at all.
Yeah.
And now people
100%.
reach out to us, time for time.
Yeah.
We're booked sometimes months in advance. As of right now,
about
we're
it,
all the way through essentially
September.
Yeah,
right. It's
September,
crazy. Yeah.
damn near early October mark right now. So, yeah.
Facts.
What a beginning.
Facts, bro.
I feel a little bit like more myself now.
Yeah. There we go.
A lot better than.
Yeah, there we go. Those electrolytes hitting.
Those electrolytes are definitely hitting the spot. But so then, what do you remember from the transition period
to here?
Yeah. What do you remember about those final just moments of being in the...
I'll be real, bro. I don't remember much. I'll be honest. Like, I really don't remember much. Like it was just kind of like, all right, this is our new spot. Let's just keep mashing. I'm just like, okay. Okay. Like, new set up. All right, let's at least figure out how everything's gonna be set up. But like once we got that down, like just even after like it didn't take us super long, you know what I mean? Like we even had the flag, you know what I mean, in here for the longest.
What flag?
Yeah, right. Yeah. I don't know what I'm crazy
Yeah,
sometimes. I'll just say things sometimes. But no, bro, like, once we really just kinda really made this our crib, you know what I mean, so to speak, it's just been
And then new growing pains.
yeah,
After
yeah,
that.
yeah. I mean,
New lessons.
fair play
to learn.
100%, because it's just even like a whole, because like we're for the most part coming right from work to like go do this a lot, like that was even a thing, and I mean, like you said, it's like natural growing pains are just like a new shift in transition, but I think the lapse and like the growing pains was shorter than like I guess whenever we initially started. Would you say?
Everything was painful to me.
Yeah,
Talk about
everything.
The feel of the growing pains. Everything was painful.
It was
of
pain.
just what do we talk about? Why is nobody listening? Am I racist?
Yeah,
I'm racist. It was just a lot of it's just a lot of just growing.
Facts, right?
For many of those initial episodes.
Facts, real shit.
Even for myself and having to learn certain new things, and again, if it wasn't for us, in hindsight, my entire purpose of us filming those first 30 episodes with just me and you. Was for just you to learn how to be a host, for us to get the kinks out. And all that.
Definitely.
Not knowing that it was giving us credibility.
Yeah.
Not knowing that we were just doing the thing.
Facts, yeah, real shit.
And I think that is maybe part of it, of what maybe we're missing when we're trying to teach people on what to do is don't think of the first however many things as you doing the thing.
Right.
Even though you are.
Right.
You are.
Yeah, right.
Think of it as you're trying to learn the thing.
Right.
Release the learning process. Release the pieces of you learning. But just think of it as learning. That's all. Because that's really all that we did. We weren't harping on anything else other than just learning how we want this whole thing to go.
Exactly.
And then once we felt confident enough that it was time for us to do the thing that we were actually trying to do,
right,
then we did it.
Right.
And we were able to transition into that. You asked me this question on my one podcast when I was asked you to ask me questions.
Yeah.
Who was the last person that was at your studio?
Kenny Stalker.
And who was the first person here?
First person here was Marcel.
Let me see here. It's funny because then we didn't have lighting for the first two, and you could tell the difference.
Yeah.
Between that, which is hilarious too.
Right.
Again, we're Marcel's episode was
like 60 something, like 60,
68.
68. All right.
And we're still growing.
Yeah,
we're still massively growing at 68 episodes.
Insane. I know.
And that's what it takes at times, man. Like that's really what it takes at times.
Right.
For you do something 68 times,
dog, bro.
You'll still be learning.
And that's what,
let me give you a little secret,
bro. And
171, we're still learning.
And like that's just even what I was like. Again, just like working for something like bigger than it. Like it's dope to just even think like 60. Like we got 68 joints, and we look back at that now like we were babies then, and then we're probably gonna look on episode 300 like niggas ain't know what the fuck 170. I mean,
no, for sure.
Light, like you know what I mean. Just so it's just dope, man. Like, and also, I've just been so much like just having a better relationship with dog, not seeing the fruits of something for like years, like like just years until you finally are just like, bro, you're just mashing and mashing and mashing, like you're so in it that like you don't even realize you've even been doing it. Like you've been doing it for a long time, but like it's just so ingrained at that point where it's just like you're not even thinking about what rewards to be like it just is what you do, and like who you are. So it's like I've just gotten just so much more accepting of like not seeing any, and like like you'll see the marginal results, sure, but like whatever big movie moment you're expecting, you know what I mean, like that may not come for 2025. You don't, you don't know is a thing. And just accept the fact that you are currently doing something that's dope and like you're working towards something that's, again, bigger than yourself, means more than just, what your ego wants it to mean. It's just like, working for something like outside yourself is just so dope, and just putting energy in that's like watching something grow after years and time of like, you putting that time in. I don't think there's really anything that could beat that, bro. And like you just learn so much more, and like you're so much better off in the end doing some shit like that,
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just continuing just look through
Yeah.
this, and I mean we're well over. Got him.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. Fuck, nigga. Don't ever come around. Don't ever lack
like.
around here.
Oh,
Yeah,
bitch, like
yeah.
that shit I don't like.
Come on, man. Come on, man.
Yeah, I'm just we're well over 100 guests.
Yeah, no, 100%, 100%.
What do you think we're at? Like 130,
40, like 40 something,
yeah.
type vibes,
40, like,
yeah. That's wild.
Around that,
that's wild.
40 mark, which is absolutely insane.
It was nuts.
Which is absolutely insane. Nuts, and again, to have the next month and a half, 2 months already scheduled out is insane too. And I also want to make this note too.
Yeah.
Because you can co-sign that you're also not doing this on purpose.
Yeah.
I find it weird that companies, organizations, especially media, have to try to have people who are black, white,
right,
other ethnicities,
right, try to,
women, men,
right,
young, old,
yep.
And not one time did we ever have the conversation.
Oh, we should have more.
We need to be inclusive.
Yeah, right. Exactly. It just is.
We need to be inclusive.
Yeah, no, bro. Like, it just is, bro. Like,
is.
We're talking to dope people who give a fuck about what they do, people who do what they do and do it well. Like, you're just naturally, if that's the nucleus of what you're gonna do, you're gonna talk to all walks of life. You're not gonna talk to any one person if that's just like what the goal is. So, yeah, to try and like reach out to a demo and then again, like, that's why, like, I'm saying, like, if it was anything else, like,
do you want to think happens too?
Yeah, what's up?
Which is harmful is when you try to reach out to a demo, you reach out to anybody within that demo.
Yeah, anybody is the keyword.
You just need a black.
Yeah, real shit.
And I'm starting
no credentials.
And I think that's helping me to think of part of what the issue is here in this city. Is I'm like, I didn't tell you the other day that I was walking through the South Side and they had some dude rapping in the square. It was organized for like Southside Works, pay for this. And I didn't know who this was. Maybe I do know who it was. I don't know. But I literally went to a different place I was going to eat just to get away from the sound. I was going to eat on the corner, and then
your whole appetite left.
I changed, and
I changed. I'm crying.
Now I understand that the goal was to have a black rapper.
Yeah. Hey, hip hop, right? Hey, grab a mic. Come down to Southside Works and rap it for the Cheesecake Factory. You're not doing anything Saturday, right? Yeah, come on down.
That was the issue.
No, facts, but no, I completely agree. But like you said, like, they don't even look at, like, if they just check boxes on, like, like, if you would fit on the pamphlet, they would probably just, give you a mic and be like, hey, this will really go well with our engagement, and, we focus grouped a lot of stuff, and, like, someone in your demo would really do well on our engagement number, so we just want to get you out there. So it's like, all right, bro, like, all right. Like, that's just such, like, a fleeting thing to chase. Like there's no substance in that. Like,
I can confidently say we have had the most women out of any podcast in Pittsburgh.
Yeah,
without asking them one sex question.
Yeah, who should pay on the first date, or what are you okay with going 50-50? Hey, if you could rate me, what would you rate me? type shit. Yeah.
Wow,
type
this is a
shit.
dumb bitch.
Yeah, right. Yeah, type shit.
Am I right, ladies and
Word,
gentlemen?
yeah.
Holy hell.
Like, would you rate my reds? Like, what would you rate my reds? Like, yeah. Like, yo, holy shit, bro. Like, it just even speaks
I'm
more.
fucking after.
Dog, yeah, right. Like, it just even speaks more to them, bro. Because again, like, these are women who are fucking mashing, bro. Like, they're doing their fucking thing, and then some. Like, these are women of like an incredibly high caliber. You know, like I'm talking like of just what they've accomplished. Like, you know, and it's just like to be able to talk to some of these people, it's just even like, damn, like, you know, that's a blessing and a half in itself to even just, you know, have these conversations, and like, you know, them being able to open up is like, you know, super dope. So I mean, bro, again, like
It's also getting to the point, also becoming purposefulness.
Yeah.
To be transparent.
Yeah.
We have had and are going to be having so many women that I'm like, we are starting to get a little sexist against men.
Yeah, right.
I'm starting to think people are worried that we're becoming sexist.
Yeah, right.
Sex.
Yeah, real shit.
I'm sorry.
Mm-hmm.
So I am going to sprinkle in a few men here and there because
right.
we've had these accomplished women, and again, just shout out to these women
doing their thing,
doing their thing, and maybe men in the city need to step up. I don't know. I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know.
Maybe it's telling of something else.
Because again, it's not purposeful, and we reach out.
Like
We've reached out to plenty of people who have not responded to us.
Yeah, right.
And I think for the most part, the majority of the people who haven't responded to us are men. Is that safe to say? And to be fair, there's not a ton of people who haven't responded.
Yeah, right.
Not a ton.
I mean, bro, I feel like that's accurate. Like, you know, I feel, you know,
there's only a few ducking.
Yeah,
there's only a few.
Yeah.
Ducking.
A few duck hunters.
Yeah,
Duck dynasty.
Few ducks.
Yeah.
Few ducks.
Yeah, the Peking duck.
yeah, a few ducks here and there.
You know, it's all good.
But yeah, no, I'm me myself, and I'm just super grateful for everybody who just continues to rock with us, and like you said, and there's gonna be a day, not to throw super shade on anybody, because I'm trying to be better at wishing the best for other people. But there was a podcast that was rated the best podcast here in Pittsburgh, and I don't know if you checked your email or missed the email, or I missed the email. I don't know, but
I ain't getting nothing.
I didn't even see us have the chance to get voted. When again, I think that we are the only non-gotcha podcast really here in Pittsburgh that has gotten 171 episodes. And not trying to put anybody on the spot or anybody on blast, asking any controversial questions.
Yeah, right.
I implore you to go watch the episode where we had one of the most famous adult actresses in the city, from the city, and asked the most respectful questions,
real shit,
that she has ever been asked.
I just even want to give my condolences. Like I don't even know her mom passed.
Did she?
Yeah. So I want to give my condolences to Mrs. Robinson on that. You know, but
yeah, absolutely.
But no, I mean it's a fire episode, man. Like, you know, super dope. Yeah, bro. And it wasn't even on some like, because like, I mean, bro, it's no secret how like you see like the circular podcast, like all like the adult actresses like, you know, go to, and it's like the vibe of what it is like. That was just so far from, because like they don't treat them like human beings, you know what I mean? Because like a lot of these women, they do look at it is just a job, like, and like that's what they treat it like it's not because they're wild nymphomaniacs that they gotta like, you know, do this thing. It's just like this is just a revenue stream for them, you know what I mean? So it's like to see the human behind that, you know, is dope, rather than just like, you know, bring them up on a podcast and be like, yeah, so like, you know, I mean, like you've seen them, you feel me, like you've seen like the vibe those podcasts give off. So again, it was an incredible episode, super candid, super real, and just dope. It was just a conversation.
I think also traveling too, and I always implore people to travel, because it makes you realize how much your mindset is an American-centric mindset, and that there are other mindsets. I am of the belief that whether it is God or the universe or whatever, that there are some universal principles.
Yeah.
There's nowhere in the world that culturally killing somebody else should be okay.
Yeah, right.
Right? We all understand that transcends culture.
Right.
Food transcends culture.
Agreed, yeah.
Love transcends culture.
Yep.
Unfortunately, hate transcends
absolutely,
culture.
Absolutely.
These are things that are not culture specific, but with a lot of things, I do implore people to, even if you can't travel at the moment, to at least take a moment and just question:
Hmm.
Are there other places where this is normal,
Right.
and why?
Hmm.
I don't know if for people that haven't been to Amsterdam in the red light district, it's everything you think it is and then some.
Right.
Amsterdam is one of the cleanest, safest,
It's true.
business heavy.
It's true.
It's not cheap to live there.
Yeah.
You got to make money. The big tech industry.
Oh, is it like do you have to make like?
It's Europe.
Yeah.
It's,
Well, yeah.
it's
There you go.
Europe.
Yeah,
Like, you have to
there
have
you
money
go.
basically to live damn near
Definitely.
anywhere in Europe
Yeah. True.
until you get south.
True.
So you get more south. When it's cold, and you got to work.
Word.
Sorry, you got to
Yep.
work.
Yep.
You
Yep.
know, when the beaches are there,
Yeah. Right.
relax.
Otherwise, yeah, hit those mines, nigga. Yeah.
And this is a place where prostitution is readily available.
Right.
Legalized prostitution.
Facts.
So let's take a moment to understand that there's other places where something that we might find so damn taboo is just normal in other places and respected in other places, and the industry in other places and regulated in other places. I'm sure that weed has had its growing stages in different countries around the world. I'm sure there's still other countries that I think China's definitely one of them.
Chop your head off.
Well,
yeah.
yeah,
They don't play.
The devil's lettuce.
They don't play.
Where here you can go down the street and get as much damn near as you want.
Yep.
No, so I just always implore people to
Absolutely, bro. I mean, traveling just
things.
opens up so much more of your perspective, just on, like you said, just like human life. Like you'll go somewhere and be like, "This is not how I know the way life is lived." Yet people are living this life. Like,
and you don't even really need to go outside the U.S. to get some of these experiences.
Facts. Very true. Very, very true. You know,
You damn near don't need to leave your state, depending on where you're
bro. And no, but like one of my favorite quotes from you is like, "Yo, niggas think space is crazy, but Earth is crazy. Nigga. Like, there's so much shit on Earth that is wild that you can't even wrap your head around." You know what I mean? So, yeah, man. Just even to your point, man. Even domestically, there's like a lot of shit that, like, you know, you could see that can just be like, what the fuck, like, you know. So
we have our 5th annual community event coming up here in August, not too far from here. And
Definitely.
we'll be speaking about it here very, very soon. And from your perspective, man, what does that mean to you?
Wow, man. It's huge, bro. Because like, again, when even, you know, just kind of pitching me coming out here, bro, like, you were so, like, one of the pillars was just the community aspect always, bro. And it's just so dope to see how true that statement was. Like, from the moment we could do it, we started, you know, giving out those book bags. And, like, you know, every year since we've done it, we've, you know, continued to do it. And here we are in year 5. And it's just not even something to think about. It's just something we do just because it's very much the right thing. And again, giving back, pouring back in, you know, like, it should just all be cyclical. You know, whatever you get, you just kind of have to pour back into the community and, like, the next generation. You know what I mean? And just, like, you know, kind of keep that flowing. So I think it's incredible. And congratulations to you for, again, 5 years of this, bro. And you know, like you even mentioned, like, you spoke, excuse me, at Concord recently, which is super dope. So, like, there's definitely gonna be kids growing up to be able to say, like, yo, bro, you definitely showed to my school for multiple years in a row, came to speak at my school. You know, I can't even tell you what that meant to me. You know what I mean? So, like, to even be able to set up or just, like, know those moments are gonna happen is dope. And I mean, bro, again, it's not for any, like, niggas aren't, like, looking for any accolade. Like, it's just because you're supposed to pour into the community. It's community and content. You know what I mean? Community and content. You know, so that's just what it is. And I'm just super proud, super proud to just be a part of something like that. Like, I mean, it's incredibly dope. And again, shout out to Concord Elementary, man. They are an incredible hosts. Like, they've always treated us with, you know, just like the utmost respect. And it's always been a pleasure to do something like that down there. So,
and not to shame anybody into helping out the community or anything, but just to keep it a thou wow. The first thing that we did was raise money to donate to local families here in Pittsburgh, which we were able to. It was like $1,600 maybe, and like 5.8 thousand meals or something like that.
Yeah.
we probably raised more money than we had in our own bank accounts.
Word. Speaking for myself, word. Word.
We needed that money.
Yeah, right. Yo, we're the food bank.
The food bank showed up the next week and then gave me a meal. I was like, "What are you doing?" They're like, "Some generous
You
group,
need this more than
some generous group donated to their
donated
local community for people who are in need."
Facts,
And
man.
sir, you look like you're in need.
Yeah, I could just tell something about you. Yeah,
But we're being serious.
Yeah.
It's where it's funny and we're laughing now.
yeah, facts.
We're being serious.
Right.
When we went and donated backpacks our first year, we did not have a lot of money
Yeah,
at all. We didn't have money.
yeah.
I'm not even gonna say like
Yeah.
we didn't have money.
Right.
We didn't have money,
Yeah, right.
and we still did that.
Yeah,
Second year, didn't really have money.
yeah,
Still did that.
right.
Third year, a little bit more money.
Yeah.
We were able to do it. Fourth year, a little bit more money.
Definitely.
This year we're
Year
completely
five.
fine.
Yeah, no,
this
niggas
year
are chilling,
we're
yeah.
we're completely
Niggas are chilling
we're
for sure,
completely fine.
Definitely.
But we did it when we didn't have.
Right.
So then what do we do now that we have? We give more.
Lit, yeah.
You just you give
Multiply.
more, and that's what it should be. It
Multiply.
should you should also increase the generosity that you give to others,
Right.
even just within yourself. Just once you learn something that you're able to share with somebody else, give more.
Facts.
The more that you're able to learn and teach to others, the more that you should teach
Yeah,
to
man.
others.
Mm.
I even coming up here, I keep forgetting that I need to remember that needs to happen. I need to change a doctor appointment around it.
Mm.
But I'm speaking to some kids in 2 weeks here.
No, nice.
On a Monday.
Where at?
Downtown.
Okay.
Somewhere
okay.
downtown.
Okay.
And coming off of mentorship and all this, it's nigga, nobody was asking for any of my advice.
Yeah.
And there was a time where I really didn't have much advice to give.
Right, man.
Where I need to get myself right.
Right.
And for
Fair.
the little advice that I did have to give, I gave.
100%.
I definitely gave.
100%.
And now I have even more advice to give. So what am I doing?
Yeah.
I'm finding more people to be able to give this advice to.
Hell yeah.
If anybody has an open ear for me to be able to speak to them, I try to do that.
Which is more than a lot of niggas can say, because niggas get off on gatekeeping. That's also something I've kind of observed. Niggas like to get, like, they just get off on. I'm like, yo, all right, Gandalf, you shall not, like, what the fuck? Like,
You shall not pass.
yeah, like, what the fuck? It's like it's just so weird to, like, because you learned something from somebody.
Mm.
Like, you ain't have all, like, you went to someone, like, what if they were on the type of time that, like, you were on? Where would you be?
Mm-hmm.
It's just like, that energy is just the most cordial shit to me in the world. Like, and like even Gary Vee is like, bro, I will tell everybody exactly what I do every day.
Mm.
And I'm so open with it because, like, I know you're not even gonna do that shit. You
Yeah.
know, because so, like, you can even give someone advice and they'll be like, I gotta do what? Like, I gotta do. And some people just be like,
Don't even do it.
it. Yeah, I'm not doing
and
that
won't
shit.
even
Yeah,
do it. So
bro.
what's the harm?
What's the harm?
But that's the scary part is
Yeah.
the people in their mind, they think that if I give this person this answer,
Mhm.
if I give this person the opportunity, they're going to do more with it than what I
Yeah, right, exactly.
It may be
Mm-hmm.
in your POS
Mm-hmm.
for thinking,
Yeah,
being scared that somebody else is going to be greater than you,
yeah.
but also that's not really true 99.9% of the time.
Right.
And you should be damn near
Recruiting.
and like so beyond elated
Yeah.
that 0.01% did listen to exactly what you said
Crazy.
and did exactly what you said
Facts.
and got to where they got to.
Facts, right.
That's I love being able to see that
Yeah,
in
it's-
people. Me give you an answer and just do what it's supposed to do.
Yeah, right.
Not to go deep into things and
No.
not to name things because people have such opinions on certain shit, but there's a certain investment that me and Tobi did, and I, because I had so much invested in it, had to pull out
Facts.
to invest in other things.
Facts.
I still believe that it's going to get to a certain number,
Mm-hmm.
and you are going to have a higher return
Mm.
than I had, a higher percentage return than I had.
Mm.
I'm so happy.
Yeah. No, bro.
So happy
I
that
appreciate-
somebody. I'm
yeah,
so
yeah.
happy that somebody is
Bro.
able to reap the benefits
100%.
of something.
Yeah.
I'm just happy that somebody's able to reap the benefits.
Bro, I
of
mean,
something.
hey, shout out to you, man.
Yeah.
Like, that was,
Yeah.
again,
Money's great.
more free game. Like, you know what I mean? Just like, it's just on a laundry list of things that you've told me to do or like advice that you've given me that's helped me out immensely. You know what I mean? So again, just shout out to you for even being a nigga that's even willing to share that knowledge. Because again, bro, like niggas are just weird. I would just leave it at that. You know what I mean? They just be weird, man.
Mm.
Full stop. So
is there anything, to close it out here? Is there anything that you're trying to strive for in this next year and two?
Trying to strive for, man. Just really be the best host possible. Always trying to strive for that. I don't think it's any one thing, man.
Almost debt free.
Yeah, bro, and shout to that. Thank you so much for that. I am almost debt free. Like, hopefully by the end of this, I mean, maybe even prior to, I should be, completely out of debt. So that's incredible. And I thank God for that. That's just such a crazy place to really be in. So shout out to that. And then I don't know, man. Just like, watching this evolve, I would love, something, eventually where we could break off into just talking solely about the shit that we fuck with, you know what I mean? Again, at some point, I'm not super, but like whenever that comes, you know what I mean? It's not like I'm never gonna not love the shit that, we fuck with. So whenever that happens, but just, being the best host possible, just taking care of the pod, man, and just, again, bringing people or shining a light on people that have that, one, deserve it, and two, just care about their craft so much and are very, very good at their craft, and who have anything that they want to share about their story that may help somebody, or just to fucking chop it up, talk some shit, or just like just even be their first interview where they get to talk shit. That's always fun. So like I would say those are really the main things, man. But yeah, man, clearly that is man, that would be a moment for sure.
Yeah. Well, I'm not gonna ask you the final question that we ask everybody because you know where to find this nigga.
Yeah.
You know where, you know where he be.
Word up, man.
K on Instagram.
Yes,
a lot
sir.
of underscores, a whole lot of other shit.
Yeah.
Find a black guy. It's probably him.
Yeah, you'll spot it.
Follow the Masters of Creation podcast page on Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok.
Yes, sir.
Follow the Masters of Creation media page that we have on Instagram that showcases all the things that we have going on, including the community event that we're going to be doing here. We're going to be asking for the first time since asking for donations for the food drive for other people to pitch in, because we're now at a stage where we can really do massive change for school.
100%.
On even a greater scale than we already have.
100%.
So again, everybody, thank you for tuning in always. Thank you for being a part of the community. And we're excited for the next 171 more. Ladies and gentlemen, this is episode 171 of the Masters in Creation podcast, where everybody is a master of their own creation. Thank you.
Peace.